Alarming news from the Amhara region where secret military training is underway. A specific group in the Amhara region uh, is undertaking the military training. Which group? From which ethnic group, from which religion are these recruits who are undertaking the training? Secondly, a man who is seen as close to the Ethiopian Prime Minister, it seems, is in trouble. His immunity is going to be revoked. He's a member of parliament. And lastly, uh, a piece of information which was really disturbing for me. So I thought of sharing it with you. Let's start with this piece of information, which is about the Marburg virus victims. The government has decided that dead bodies of Marburg virus victims won't be handed over to the families. Deadly virus, we know that its mortality rate is between 25 to 80%. In recent Marburg virus outbreaks in Tanzania and other countries in the last 10 years, mortality rate was around 80%, 70 to 80%. In some cases, 100%. No vaccine, no treatment, just symptomatic treatment is given. It was very dangerous. And it spreads during contact. So the government's decision is definitely appropriate. It makes sense that dead bodies cannot be handed over to families, because if families are given the dead bodies during the burial, the virus could spread. It makes sense, but it's heartbreaking that people are dying and families won't be able to bury them. That is what was disturbing for me to imagine. That's why I thought of sharing it with you. The best strategy is to prevent it, to defend yourself from the virus. The government has assured the families of those who have died due to virus that the victims will be buried in accordance with their religious beliefs. But families won't be given the dead bodies. So, for 6 deaths confirmed by the government, 3 with Marburg virus-like symptoms, and 3 confirmed deaths from the virus. Tests done, they died. And all these deaths, I think, happened in Jinka. Top Ethiopian health ministry officials visited Jinka today, and most of the deaths are happening in Jinka. Secondly, viewers, a man close to Ethiopian Prime Minister is going to be in trouble. His immunity is going to be revoked. Whenever police wants to arrest a member of parliament, or police wants to, yes, when police wants to start criminal proceedings against a member of parliament, the immunity of the member of parliament must be revoked. And the immunity can only be revoked by the house of which the person is the member. For example, if an Amhara regional council member is going to be arrested, if charges are to be filed against the member of Amhara regional council, the Amhara regional council will have to revoke the immunity. In special cases, maybe the revocation of immunity is not needed in case of imposition of state of emergency, like we saw in the Amhara region. But in other cases, I think whenever prosecutors file charges against an MP, they need legally that the immunity is revoked. Ashebir Woldegiorgis is going to be in trouble. He is member of Ethiopian National Olympics Committee, former head of Ethiopian Football Federation, member of parliament from Bonga, an independent member of parliament. He's not part of PP, but he is independent. I think he's independent, not sure, 100% sure, but he's close to Ethiopian Prime Minister. And the man was at the center of criticism last year because last year, you know, that Ethiopian Olympics athletics team did not perform very well. That is why Ashebir was criticized. Then Haile Gebrselassie filed a lawsuit against Ashebir Woldegiorgis. He accused Ashebir of being involved in human trafficking during Paris Olympics of last year. Trial, I think, was underway, but maybe evidence has been found, and that is why federal police has requested the House of People's Representatives to revoke Ashebir Woldegiorgis' immunity. Is he going to be put on trial? Is he going to be arrested? Let's see. It seems that Ashebir is going to be arrested. Lastly, viewers, a group is undertaking military training in the Amhara region secretly. In September, you know that in a town in South Wollo zone of the Amhara region, some Muslims were killed by Fano fighters. Fano fighters stormed a mosque in Meccan Salam. Meccan Salam, you know, is in South Wollo, situated on Dasi to Motta Road. Strategic town. Fano fighters took control of it. They stormed the mosque, main mosque in the city. The imam and others did not allow Fano to enter the mosque. Fano fighters said that there were armed men inside the mosque. Muslims resisted. They did not want Fano to enter the mosque, and that led to start of arguments, and Fano fighters opened fire. Imam was killed and some other Muslims were killed. They were not armed. Fano could not prove that there were armed men in the mosque or that Muslims were supporting government forces. Fano fighters lost Meccan Islam. They had to withdraw from there. Thousands of people next day attended funeral ceremonies of the Muslims killed by Fano in Meccan Islam. Now, Ethiopian military is training Muslims of Meccan Islam reportedly. Military training is underway secretly. The registration for this training has been ongoing for the last 2 months. Incident in Meccan Islam happened in September. Immediately after that, if you remember, I said in September that the government will try to pit Muslims against Fano. Fano tried to pacify Muslims. They involved their Muslim Fano commanders. They met with Muslim imams, Muslim elders, and they said Fano is not against Muslims. What happened in Meccan Islam was a mistake. But some Fano commanders, they tried to ignite a conflict. People like Colonel Fantahun, in audio messages, accused Fano of killing Muslims. By the way, Colonel Fantahun is based close to Meccan Islam. Not in Meccan Islam, but close to Meccan Islam, reportedly. Large number of his group's fighters has surrendered. Not surrendered, they have joined AFNF. But still he has dozens of fighters with him, and he's based close to Meccan Islam, reportedly. So now in Meccan Islam, Muslims are being recruited. They are undertaking military training. The military is making a Muslim militia consisting of Muslims from Meccan Islam and other areas. Ankisa is the name of a village where the military training is underway. It started around 2 weeks ago. Uh, I did a video this morning. I told you about Wollo peacekeeping force formed by Ethiopian military. Now, Muslim fighters force is being established by military in Mecca and Islam to use them against Fano fighters. In our zone, Argo militias have been established. This is how everything is being spent on military in the Amhara region. Budget is going to military. When so many forces, militias are being established, it means that the government wants to just outnumber Fano fighters. But how will the government disarm these militias and fighters? You know that government armed Fano fighters during Tigray war. Then when government tried to disarm them in 2023, they refused to be disarmed. That was start of armed conflict in the Amhara region. The government is arming everyone in the Amhara region against Fano. What will happen when the government will try to disarm the groups which government is arming today? Let's see. Muslims need to be careful. They should not allow themselves to be used by the government against Fano fighters. They have their concerns these days, by the way. They issued a statement 2 days ago saying that Amhara government is forcing them to learn Ge'ez language. That in Tigray, still Muslim students, female students are being allowed to attend schools wearing hijab. Then Brown Naga's Ministry of Education issued an SOP about what students can wear coming to education institutions. Muslims are criticizing that as well. So Muslims feel that they're aggrieved that government and these armed groups are not listening. They're not listening to Fanos. They're not listening to Muslims' concerns. They're not addressing Muslims' concerns. There is anger, there is resentment, and government is using this anger against Fano. Thank you for watching.